Dirt roads to rock crawling, two-buck chuck to screaming eagle, moonshine to 50-year-old single malt. We talk about it all here on Wheelin' Wine and Whiskey with your hosts, Jason and Chris.
Welcome to Wheeling Wine and Whiskey, episode 160. Wait, we're in Studio L and Studio R. Where are you? I don't know where you are. Where am I? I don't know.
Who's on first?
Well, we are in Studio L, Livermore, right now.
Right meow.
I'm on my way home from the con.
The con. Yeah, you were going to give
us... We missed you.
I know.
We missed you.
I didn't miss the rain.
Hashtag Chris doesn't wheel anymore.
Well, hashtag Chris, yeah.
Hashtag
Chris.
Hashtag housewife. Camp wife.
Chris changed jobs and has no vacation. Hashtag. You know, I negotiated a nice vacation
I thought you did.
That was all for King of the Hammers, and I blew that wad.
Wow.
So I've been trying to replenish it, but then I used quite a few hours for different events in May, and now I'm down to nothing again. So I need to go back into a rebuild mode.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have enough history with my new employer to just say, yeah, I'm going to take off for a few days. No big deal. And they're just, give me a few more months to get shit squared away, and I'll be able to hopefully be back to the normal.
All right.
Hitting events. I mean, yeah. So how was the Rubicon?
It was great. You're going to hear all about it here shortly.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I hear you recorded right on the trail.
We were on the trail. Well, not physically in the middle of the trail, but we were just off to the side of the trail last night.
Mic'd up?
Top of Walker Hill.
Walker Evans Hill?
Yeah, Walker Evans Hill. No, so it's right near Cell Phone Tree.
Sure.
Cell Phone Tree is, and actually there was a little bit of cell service right when we got into camp, and then it dropped off. But yeah, you're not too far from Cell Phone Tree, and Soup Ball's not too far away if you wanted to go play. And anyways, we were trying to get ahead of weather, and we did, which was good. We were going to stay at Buck last night, but if we stayed at Buck, we would have really been soaked this morning heading out. So we'll get to that in a minute.
All right, cool.
Let's get our business stuff out of the way.
We do have a little bit of business.
Yeah.
We want to kind of keep pushing our patrons to slide over to Irate 4x4. I know we were remiss in our last episode. We didn't mention Irate 4x4. Big promotion, big kudos to Austin at Irate for supporting our podcast. Yes,
I've got a brand new, like, it's 1x1 Irate sticker on the buggy.
Oh no.
It's on the passenger side. It says Irate.
Awesome.
It says parts. What else does it say? Forums. And then at the bottom it says shenanigans with a little flip-off guy.
Shenanigans. No shenanigans.
Oh, there's shenanigans. So that was well represented on the Rubicon.
Awesome.
This weekend, Austin.
Yep. As everybody knows, we've been kind of mentioning it over the last month or a couple months, I guess. We've been trying to shift our loyal listeners over to Irate 4x4 into our, what's the Bourbon Society?
Barrel Society.
Jesus.
Oh, look at what's on your mind.
Barrel Society.
You should have seen the twitch in his arm when he said that too.
Well, Lorenzo.
You got Lorenzo's.
He started clopping pretty loud over there.
He's pretty pissed he didn't get to come on the Rubicon too.
I'm sure. Well,
I said, hey, now you know how Chris feels.
Right. So, Barrel Society, same situation. Come over to Irate. So sign up at Irate 4x4, and then when you get your subscription, which is free, absolutely, and you can see all of our stuff in the forums there. You got
you click right on when you go to irate4x4.com, and then you scroll on down to the media section. Chris is having technical difficulties. There you go. Look at that. So right there.
Watch, listen, and discuss.
Yeah, watch, listen, and discuss. And you just go right past Snail Trail and right to Wheeling Wine and Whiskey. So that's perfect.
And you can see all of our shows and all the comments for our shows. You don't need to be a member of the Barrel Society to see all that. But the real good stuff happens when you are part of the Barrel Society, and you can sign up. If you click on our podcast section in the watch, listen, and discuss, you can see the different sign up tiers. That's a new thing that just happened.
Oh, he did.
Week.
I saw that little text come through the other day. Boy, that looks good.
Yeah, on the right side of the screen, just below our big logo, you can see all the different tiers and how you can sign up, and just click a button and spend your money, whip out your credit card.
Well, yeah, and we appreciate the support. It's, we say it all the time. It helps us out, and it really does. It truly does help keep the podcast going. Just like I gave out a bunch of stickers this weekend, and, that helps that, too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And
I even gave them to the Toyota guys.
Keep spreading the good word. If you like the show and you know people that you think would benefit from listening to us and our shenanigans and nonsense, certainly spread the word and let them know.
Shenanigans.
The shenanigans. Isn't that a bar? No.
No. That was I'm sure there is a bar named Shenanigans.
I'm sure there is. If anybody knows of a location of a bar named
probably in Australia.
It might be.
Shenanigans.
Anyway, so yeah, we do have 4 new
Barrel Society members.
Good.
You got it. Good job.
I'm trying. I'm going to have a big sign set up in the studio here.
Do you need to enlarge the print?
No, I can see it. I can see it. So, starting with the one that signed up first since we switched over, a lot of people have signed up since we switched over, but brand new, never before been a patron or a Barrel Society member.
What do they call them? FNGs.
FNGs. That's right. That's right. Freaking new guy.
Yeah,
we're gonna
fantastic
we're gonna clean the show up.
Phenomenal new guy.
No,
wait, that starts with a PH, but it's pronounced.
Well, we can start with an F. What the fuck?
Wow. There you go.
Okay, so Gene Hill is one of our newest members.
Welcome, Gene.
Thank you for supporting us. That's awesome. Moving on, we got Wesley Vieira. I hope I pronounced that right.
Yeah, looks like it from here.
Thank you so much. Wesley, thank you. And then we got Jake Gallo.
Jake?
Yeah.
He's not from State Farm, though.
I don't know. I wonder if he's part of the Gallo wine family.
Well, that could be good.
I mean, yeah.
Juggo Wine, Gallo.
Yeah.
You ever had Gallo?
Oh, yeah.
You have.
And I've been to their winery, too.
I've been to their winery. Yeah.
They got a big one up there. So.
Yeah, huge.
And they kind of own a lot of the glass, too.
Yes.
Glass manufacturing. So.
Look at you. Look at the knowledge bombs from Chris.
I'm telling you, man. This is Wheeling Wine and Whiskey.
Bombs and knowledge bombs
we never stop giving. And finally, last but not least, and the guy from Down Under. Is that a pretty good accent or no?
It was terrible, actually.
All right. Well, it's Jacob Gallardi. Thank you so much all the way from Australia.
Another Aussie on the podcast here.
I know. We have 4 of them.
This is good.
4 Aussies.
Look what you started, Charles.
Hopefully you guys all have extra bedrooms when we make a trip down there and we can.
Oh, man. That would be so cool.
Go bar hopping and wheeling and
overlanding in the outback.
That's right.
I mean, come on.
I think that Charles Rigg, he pulled his engine out and he's doing a little refreshment on it. I don't know if you saw that on the IG.
No, I've been IG silent here.
Oh, that's right. You've been on
been
the
out.
con.
Been out wheeling.
So that's our 4 new Barrel Society members.
Yeah, there you go. I was waiting for you to correct yourself there.
Very much appreciate your support. And that's pretty awesome. It's really picking up. I mean, if you swing over into the Irate 4x4 forums, there's a lot of great information there. You not just in the watch, listen, and discuss, but if you can also pop into whatever your favorite brand specific tech is. Hopefully it's Jeep and Dodge. Yeah, are you all right over there?
No, I'm fine.
Jeep and Dodge.
Yeah, right. As you're hovering over the Ford logo.
I'm getting ready to delete it.
Oh, is that what you're doing?
International Harvester. God, is that even a thing anymore?
Yeah. Combine, man.
Combine.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. Well, do we have any new reviews?
Well, I do have I do need to make an announcement here that who won our little contest impromptu contest we threw out last time.
Oh yeah.
When we called the Snail Boys.
Oh, that's right.
And left all those quotes, and it was Smokey and the Bandit. And I had a lot of people respond, but Brian Hansel, who's local, he's in Manteca.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so he's close. He's part of the Railtown four-wheelers.
Right on.
Yeah, so he chimed in at like 4:45. What time does the episode drop? I thought it was like at 3 or something.
The episode drops at 2 a.m. PST.
2 a.m. Okay, so in the future reference, if you want to get early bird gets a worm, you can wait till it drops at 2 o'clock and listen, and then at 2:45, 3 o'clock you can call in.
That's
Or
right.
DM.
And
You can call, but ain't nobody gonna answer.
Make sure you watch the movie Smoking the Bandit.
That's right. Yeah. So it was Smoking the Bandit. So yeah, I had people responding like 6 days later too. Here. And
Oh
so
my God.
I'm like, you're a little late.
Day late and a
Little
dollar
late.
short. 6 days late and $6 short.
So we sent koozie as promised, ultimate.
Sweet.
Magnetic koozie stickers, a bunch of dirtbag stickers and swag. Dirtbag keychain I had, nice, cool like tag type keychain.
Oh yeah.
Embroidered, and then a shirt. Now Brian had one before, a little over a year ago, one of the other contests.
Okay.
So he already had a blue shirt with the white logo on the front.
Right. That's a good looking shirt.
So I went digging through and I found oatmeal, the oatmeal color with the black logo.
Oh, perfect.
So I changed it up for him. So he should have that by now because I sent it out last week and he was supposed to have it by Friday. So
Okay, so he's won 2 times in less than a year.
yeah, but
So
he was Johnny on the spot. So
So he's DQ'd for the rest of the year.
No. Let's keep it coming. Let's see what you got.
Okay, perfect.
So yeah. So congratulations, Brian.
Awesome.
And he's a CJ5 guy too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Short wheelbase.
Mm-hmm.
Real short wheelbase.
Yeah.
Micro base.
Micro, but he wheels.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
He probably hasn't changed jobs recently and has lots of
Oh,
vacation
here we
time.
go. Cry me a freaking river.
Well.
There's a river on the Rubicon this morning.
Vacation time guy.
All right, what else do we have?
I got nothing.
You got nothing else? That's it? Podcast is over.
Well, we're gonna roll into in a moment here. You're recording on the con.
Yeah, so you were asking me what went on and how everything went, and I said, well, you need to listen to the podcast.
Well, there you go. Well, I'll listen to it
episode
when
160.
when I edit it, which I'll do tomorrow. And I'm deaf in one ear right now. So
What?
Yeah, what?
Say what?
I'm suffering from an ear infection right now, and my right ear is really painful, and it doesn't work as well as it should.
Oh,
so
my gosh. I hear Midol helps with that.
yeah, Midol and bourbon.
Oh, okay. You can just chase them together.
just dump
Yeah,
them in.
so we recorded last night, well, Saturday night, so this is Sunday afternoon.
Sunday.
This will
Sunday.
drop Tuesday, so podcast time warp here.
We're always time traveling.
So sat around the campfire, and Husband was there, Hustle Nuts, and of course Jeep and Rhonda and Samurai James. So
Right on.
and Rhonda drove the entire trail.
So she owes an ass.
Yep, from Loon Lake to the Springs, out to Loon Lake. So she did awesome, and I got to follow her out yesterday and then this morning, and it was cool watching
Cool.
her wheels. So she did great. And James was not a very good passenger, but he was a passenger.
Are his knuckles broken?
No, but he was great. He got out and guided in a few spots, and
Stacking any rocks ever, or
yeah,
pulling cable?
no, we didn't have to pull any cable.
Wow.
Didn't have to pull a strap out. We did have to pull some tools out, which I'll get into that. Well, I'll do a little recap because we obviously last night ended at last night. And so I'll tell you about today's activities and a couple things I forgot to add into the episode. So why don't we go ahead and listen to that?
Let's roll it then.
You'll hear my new intro into Wheeling Wine and Whiskey.
Double intro.
Double intro.
Wow.
Welcome to Wheeling Wine and Whiskey, episode 160 on remote, on the Rubicon, at night, in front of the campfire, at the top of Walker Hill. What day is it? Saturday night. Ooh, Saturday night. And I've got a few special guests here. Sitting to my right is Lady Samurai. Actually, Jeep and Rhonda.
Hello.
Hi, Jeep and Rhonda.
How's it going?
Good. And then next to Jeep and Rhonda is Samurai James,
How's it going, guys?
or Wrong Seat James
Ladies and
today.
gentlemen. Yeah, wrong seat, James. That's about it.
Yeah. And then on my left over here is none other than the Jason Hussman, Hustle Nuts.
Hustle Nuts.
Hey,
How's
how
it
you
going?
doing?
I'm good.
Right on. When was the last time you were on a podcast, a Stale Trail podcast? It's been a while.
It was, well, I was only on one, but then the one that we recorded 2 years ago,
Yeah.
that was the last podcast I was on.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, you don't get out much, do you?
I don't. No, I've been working in my garage a lot. So
You've been working on your buggy.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do a little Rubicon recap here. So we came out Friday morning, dark 100. Jason and I left the trail at Loon Lake at 6:30 in the morning in our buggies. We were hashtag Buggielanding, which you coined.
Buggielanding, yep.
I'm going to say Jason coined it.
I did.
And I'm named Jason, so it could be me
Damn
too.
it.
Damn it! But no, we were. I thought we were rock landing, but we got the tents and all our gear bags on top of the buggies, and so we cruised on through, and then the Mad Hatter's run. This is a Mad Hatter's run, and James and Rhonda were leading the second group. There was going to be like 5 groups total. And who was our trail boss on this run? Who was the trail boss?
I thought it was Tyler.
Right. And where is he right now?
I know where he's not.
Oh, yeah, he's not here. So, Tyler. Anybody? Nope, not here.
It might be underneath the rig still.
Oh, you know, those Toyotas always needing some work. Clutch. Is it too soon? Too soon? No, I don't think it's too soon.
Never too soon.
I don't know. He had a clutch go out or something. So he's not here. So we lost our trail boss right out of the gate. And then so people stepped up, and there was a total of 21 rigs, I heard. 21 rigs that went from Loon Lake all the way to the Springs on Friday. And weather was beautiful. Trail was pretty clear. There was people out and about, but things were moving good. And John and Renee were the tail, because John, of course, welded up a couple rigs. He couldn't do the Rubicon without welding once.
Yeah, no, not possible.
So they got into the Springs around 4 o'clock, which was still good.
For them, that's really good.
Yeah, and so we had a couple camps set up there. There was the VIP camp, which is behind the kitchen in the Springs, and then we were over on the slabs just beyond that by the waterfall. And man, that waterfall was raging. So let's talk about our run coming in yesterday, Jason, Mr. Hussman, Hustle Nuts. What are your thoughts on the activities that occurred yesterday?
Yeah, no, we cruised right along. We had a good pace, and the only hiccup was when I turtled myself on Big Sluice.
Yeah, I had to winch you once, and you winched yourself once.
Yeah.
So
I took the right in the V of the 2 rocks right next to where the pinch tree used to be.
Yeah.
And,
so the tree that fell down in the big sluice. So now there's the line. There used to be the line to the left and the right of it. Well, now if you're going down the sluice to the Springs, so the line to the left is still blocked because the tree's there. Line to the right in the middle of the trail basically is pretty easy. And you decided to go to the right, which is pretty freaking gnarly. And got a little turtled in there.
Yeah, and I think that if I just took it higher on the driver's side, I would have gone right through it.
I agree.
But coming down, I just missed that little rock and
slid on you a little bit.
Couldn't gain any traction.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it was a smooth run in. It took us 5 hours, and we stopped maybe a dozen times.
Yeah, quite a bit.
For snacks, photos, hanging
Winching.
out, BSing, waiting for people, get out of the way or whatever. Yeah, and then the winching part in the big sluice, that was self-induced there on your part. But rolled into the Springs there, saw the caretakers. And then we set up camp and came back and paid our fees, $20 a night if you're staying in the Springs. And, had lunch. It was beautiful. There's nobody around. We had the whole place to ourselves till the rest of the people start rolling in. You guys rolled in about, what time, 1 something? Was it closer to 2?
Yeah, it was about 2:30, I think, when we finally got in.
So talk about your run coming in.
It was great. Started off the morning with a little driver's meeting with the Mad Hatters. Got the group rolling.
Did you get the pamphlet?
We did get the pamphlet.
Okay, good.
You got to watch out for page 7 about the rattlesnakes.
And page 28 about the gladiators, but we'll get into that in a minute.
So yeah, it went well. Rhonda was able to saddle the group up, Lady Samurai, and get the group moving on time. And
So Jeep and Rhonda was leading, right? Rhonda?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was leading the second group out. We had 6 total rigs with us, and yeah, we motored pretty good. Everyone had been on the Rubicon before and pretty experienced, and so we just chugged right along and had no problems, except for the spare tire off my rig fell off going down Indian
Yeah,
Trail.
what happened there?
I have no idea. The bolt broke, and we heard a ping and looked back, and the tire's on the ground.
Left the
so.
chat.
Yep. Luckily, we had a couple Toyota pickups with us and threw it in the back of one of them, and they carried it out of the trail for us. So
That's great. If it's not still at the springs now, who knows?
yeah, pack it in, pack it out.
Pack
guys.
it in, pack it out. So, yeah, other than that, no mechanical issues in your group, huh? There was one guy that had a flat tire.
yeah, they were in the groups behind us, so I
Oh,
don't
okay.
have too much info
And then there
on
was an
that.
overheating issue and an
Overheating
XJ.
issue.
Those were the only 2 mechanicals I heard yesterday. The 2 people that John welded were not part of our group. They were on the trail. It was Dustin's friend that we met at Soup Bowl. And then the other guy was at winter camp. The San Joaquin Jeepers had a link or something mount that was in need of some welding. But I think they welded it, but John helped him out with something. I don't know. He was there for a short time. But, yeah, so it was a great day. Hashtag buggy life. I mean, we just cruised in. It was smooth, fun. Weather was great. And very relaxing. It was good mountain therapy, rock therapy. And, yeah, I was super stoked yesterday. It was just a stress-free day and got into, like I say, the springs. And, man, it's just beautiful there. Absolutely beautiful. Radiator Springs, as the assistant calls it. So, husband, tell us a little bit about your buggy, because this is like you were on the Rubicon last weekend, but you've got like 3 or 4 trips since you put the new axles and revised your buggy.
Yep.
So give us some specs, because there's a lot of sexiness
Jeez.
under there.
There is a lot of
sexiness.
very expensive sexiness.
Yeah, I know. Well, nobody said 4-wheeling's cheap.
No.
Hashtag Chris money. But hey, what do you got some spiders or something on your
so
differentials?
So for the last 22 years, I've been running the same Toyota axles, and so I saved for 2 years and bought all the little components that I needed throughout the course of those 2 years as they were available. Because as you know, you try to buy something and there's a long lead time or whatever. So I
Right.
kept watching, and talking to the various vendors, saying, okay, when is this going to be available, so I could save money and then buy it. And finally got my built axles under. So they're spider tracks, housings, and knuckles. The wheel mount surface is 69 inches, which puts me at a track width of 85 inches.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm running 40 spline shafts, front and rear, CTMs in the front. I have Eric Miller weld-on steering arms, PSC 3x9 RAM, sorry. I have Gearworks third members, so I have 543s and a spool, high pinion in the front, and 543 ARB high pinion in the rear.
With the WFO guards.
And the WFO
those are pretty sexy.
skids for those thirds
Yeah.
to protect them. So,
And
yeah.
brakes.
yep, all Willwood brakes with the Spider Tracks components. Spent a lot of money on Spider Tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It works.
But I'm proud. I love it. It looks so good. I'm very happy with the way it turned out, and I recommend it to everybody.
There you go. There you go, James. See?
Just start saving your money.
Yeah.
It's it's super cool though. It's funny what I heard it a couple times today too when we're driving past people and they're like, "Who built that chassis?" And you're like, "Me." Whose chassis is that? Me.
I think it should be called the Hustle Nuts chassis.
Yeah.
When they ask you,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
And then he pulls out his toolbox, and then it gets
Yeah,
game
well,
over at
everybody
that
loves the
point.
drawer.
They do love the drawer. The slide-out drawer in the
Yeah.
rear is pretty freaking sexy.
Want to see my toolbox?
Want to see my toolbox? So, anyways, it's super cool,
Thank you.
and it was fun. I followed you in yesterday. We swapped spots a couple times, leading.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Yeah, so that was kind of cool. And it was just.
It's almost not as fun being in the front because you don't get to see somebody do the obstacles.
Right.
So it's fun following somebody.
I do like that, but I do like being out in front, no dust. Although the trail wasn't dusty right
Yeah, it
now,
wasn't dusty at all.
there's still a lot of water out here, and it's good. Skeeters are out. It's skeeter time in Rubicon, so bring your bug spray if you're coming out here, boys and girls.
Not you, Chris.
No.
You won't
Chris
need it.
don't have to worry
You don't
about
have
it.
to worry about it. Nice. Where's Chris? Where's Chris? Chris and Lorenzo are at the bar drinking. So, and then, so today, Saturday, we woke up at the Springs, and then part of the Mad Hatters were at the VIP area, and we fixed breakfast, and man, I slept so good last night. It was just, I woke up at like 5:15-ish, somewhere in there, and I could just hear that waterfall raging, and sun was coming up, and I was like, okay, this is my happy spot. And then people started waking up and fixing breakfast and coffee, and then we just all just kind of hung out by the water and BSing. Danny came in last night he used to work at WFO with the Red Wet Willie. So that was cool. Man, we had, I don't know, there was like 10 of our group camping on the slabs or so.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. And, man, just, yeah, it was cool. But we got the weather report. Good old ham radio. I got in contact with Chris. At least he's providing something for this trip, and said, hey, I'm going to call you at 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. on the ham radio. Get on your Echo Link, and let's see if we can connect. Well, last night we couldn't connect at 5, but this morning we were able to connect. And, yeah, that was he gave us the weather report and says, yeah, rain a-coming. So I look over at, give the weather report to you guys and Hustle Nuts, and I go, well, there's a lot of people out on the trail. Buggy's open. I think we should just start heading out in the afternoon. So we all agreed. So the three of us started working our way back up the trail to Loon Lake. And it took us about 5 hours from the Springs to the top of Walker, right?
Yes, that's correct.
We had a few stops. We had one mechanical. You want to talk about that, Jason? The mechanical today?
Yeah.
A little mechanical?
Yeah, so we were putting right along. We were taking a little break. I think you were on the phone or something.
I was on the sat phone.
Yeah, you're on the sat phone.
Sat phone.
You know, bougie with your sat
yeah,
phone.
I was. It was pretty freaking bougie, man.
And I just happened to look down, and I can see the top of my rear drive shaft where it attaches to my transfer case, and I see that there's only 2 bolts holding it on.
It's a flange.
Yeah, it's a flange, Toyota flange.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like a 1/2-inch gap, so it's pulled away quite a bit. I'm like, oh, crap.
That's not good.
Yeah, so only 2
you
bolts.
gave me the cutoff engine sign. I was ready to go.
Yeah,
And
you were like, let's go.
let's
I'm like,
go.
nope. Yeah,
And
just
you're giving me the cutoff engine
just
sign.
go
I'm like,
relax in the shade some
I'm like,
more.
that's not good.
Negative Ghost Rider.
Yeah, so I opened up that drawer and looked through my little collection of bolts, and I have. It's funny because I'm just putting everything back together as I've spent all this time in the garage, and I have a little packet of drive shaft bolts, a little 4-pack, and I swear I put them in there, but apparently I didn't.
They weren't
And so
there.
they're sitting somewhere in the garage, and I'm going to find them when I get home.
Them and they're gonna,
I'm
I
going to
guarantee
put them in
they'll
there.
be back in there.
So
yeah.
next time somebody sees me on the trail, ask to see them, and I'll fucking show them where they are. So I pulled one of the bolts from my front drive shaft, so it's got 3, and then Jason was crawling around underneath, and I let the buggy roll so that the drive shaft, the bolt position would easier access.
Line
me
back up. Yeah.
able to get 3 of the bolts in and got them all tight, and that'll get me home.
Yeah, get you out. It's all the
Thank you for
torques.
helping, by the way.
Oh, no, it's a piece of cake, man. That's what we were commenting. So James was there leaning up against the buggy, and I crawled underneath. And I'm like, fuck, I think the buggy's cleaner underneath than the top. I mean, there's no leaks. It's not a buggy. It doesn't mark its territory. It does, it's all new and fresh under there.
Well, it's like he, buffs the top side just as much as he does the bottom.
I'm pretty sure the skid plates had Teflon on them, so they could slide off the rocks.
Right. But I flat told Jason Green here that he crawled underneath the Samurai with a white shirt. It definitely was not going to come out white.
I did. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was nice granite slab, and it was nice and warm from.
It was a good
being out in
spot
the sun.
to work on.
It was
wasn't
a really good, and the
Yeah.
water was flowing right next to us. So you
And
had
it was
a waterfall.
It had a slight slope
Slant,
to it.
yeah.
So I could just let it roll just a little bit. I didn't have to start it, and it was great.
No, it was-
super convenient.
It was. It worked out really well. So yeah, that was the only mechanical, which was great. So back to the sat phone. So our club, Esprit de Four, has a satellite phone we bought for emergency use, and having it out on the trail. Well, out here on the Rubicon, you got like one spot, the cell phone tree, where you can get. I know Verizon works there. I don't know about AT&T. Does AT&T work there? Does anybody know? You guys have AT&T? No?
I don't believe so. I haven't heard of AT&T working there.
Yeah, I don't know. So Verizon just works enough. You can get some text. You can get a phone call out. But I had some stuff going on, and I needed to make contact. And the Echo Link was on and off all weekend. So I'm so glad I had the satellite phone and was able to call out and get a hold of Chris and say, hey, what's going on and what's the weather update and all that stuff. So that worked out really well this evening. So yeah, I know we made the right call. It's kind of sucks not to be at the Springs right now. We had like one of the best campsites on the whole Rubicon last night, but it's nice to be this close back, where we can get out within an hour easy tomorrow morning, just cruising. And if it starts raining, it's supposed to start raining around, 11 a.m., I guess. It's the forecast. And, be nice to be back at the tow rigs and load up and be heading down the hill before it gets nasty. Last weekend was pretty nasty up here, I heard.
Oh, really?
Saw reports. Oh, yeah. You didn't see all the...
Yes, it was.
And, so Jason was up here. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just did a day run. I wanted
Saturday?
Yep, last Saturday. So I wanted to come and spend the night, but I knew it was going to rain, and so I decided against it. Mm-hmm. And drove in as far as the Old Sluice Indian Trail Split.
Okay.
Hung out there with Glenn for a while.
Who we saw today, and we got spill kits from.
Yep.
So what's Glenn's role out here? Tell us what Glenn's role is.
Well, I'm not 100% sure, but I know that he works for Rubicon Trail Foundation. And he's
RTF.
Yep, just kind of keeps an eye on things and is a middleman for if there's an emergency.
Correct.
So he's a good contact point. Keeps an eye on who's coming in, who's leaving, keeps account of who's staying at Buck and stuff like that.
At the property, right? The RTF property?
Yep. Yeah,
Yep.
so he stays down there in the cabin.
Yep. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, pretty cool. So it was fun catching up with him and his son today, Clint.
Yep.
So we caught them at you and I did on the way out, we elected to do
Old Sluice.
the Old Sluice, which is
That was gnarly today.
still some of the best wheeling in the Sierras.
Yeah.
I mean, Fordyce is my favorite trail, and it's great, but the Old Sluice is still...
It did not disappoint
It
for
does
sure.
not disappoint, and today it was freaking
I
rough,
struggled a
man.
little. There were some spots
Yeah.
I struggled. I mean, I was in the front, so you got to see me struggle.
Yes.
So
I
hopefully
saw it. The
you did
struggle's
better
real.
than I did.
The
Hopefully you
struggle's
did
real.
better than I did.
I had to back up a couple times.
Yeah, me too. So it was fun.
It got my attention because I was just like cruising, and then I saw you getting hung up, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to try this line. And I tried it, and then this big old rock like rolled from my driver's front tire.
Came out of nowhere.
And it was about a 3-foot by 2-foot rock, let's just say.
They come out of nowhere a lot.
Yeah, and it just like appeared, and it came off that front tire and went under my belly, and it rolled. As I pulled forward, it rolled underneath the belly of the rig, and I looked back, and both rear tires were off the ground of my buggy. I was just front-wheel drive at that point. And I'm like, okay, this isn't good. And then so I back up, and it kind of rolled back and then got underneath the driver's rear tire. And then it just, once the driver's rear tire caught it, then I was able to crawl back over it and go. But it was super fun. It's a beautiful little section of the trail, too. You got this huge granite wall when you're going back up from Buck Island out to Loon here, or to Spider, whatever you want to say. That whole left side, I mean, there's a sheer granite wall that just goes straight up. And it's just incredible area of the trail, and a lot of people don't even see it. They don't even know they're bypassing the old sluice, because you get up to the top there, beautiful view, best outhouse on the Rubicon trails up there too, looking out over the canyon. And then you go down Indian Trail, which is what 90+% of the people I would say do. But then if you're in the know and you got to set up a rig, you can go do the old sluice, and holy smokes, man, it is always good going up or down. But yeah, going up today, that was good. Got my attention.
I highly recommend that Tyler does not try that again.
No,
because it was a lot gnarlier than when he went down, and there was some casualties last time he went down. So on his rig. So we don't want that to happen again, Tyler. So stay away.
No. So Jeep and Rhonda, let's talk about you drove your new to you Jeep all the way from Loon Lake to Spider yesterday, and from Spider now to the top of Walker. So let's hear about your experience here on the Rubicon.
Yeah, I'm still getting used to the Jeep, so but overall it's doing great. And
what do you mean you don't know? It's doing great. You did great.
Well, yeah.
I didn't see you wheel yesterday, but I was behind you all day today. And what gearing do you have in there in the axles?
Not low enough.
514s or something?
514s. Oh,
513s.
Okay.
But your transfer case is like a 2-to-1 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you need a lower transfer case, but you're geared. I mean, it's set up, and you got 35s on it, 37s, and you got the suspension on there, and I mean the wheel travel and everything was great. But yeah, you get in some of those situations where you're working the clutch, and you got a thumb throttle on the little bike throttle on the gear shift knob. So that came in handy.
It did. Yeah, getting used to that too, but it's great. I love it. It's just getting used to it and remembering to turn it off.
Yeah,
when I'm up
once
the
you're over the
so
obstacle, throttle back, cruise control off.
But yeah, just getting more comfortable with the clutch and everything.
Right.
But everything went well. There's, a few times I got a little hung up, but great spotting from Samurai James over here and got me through. And
yeah.
no casualties. Couple close calls on the way up Indian Trail, but didn't go over.
We didn't see
okay.
that because we were on the old sluice.
Yeah,
but we heard about it.
I may have had the tires off 2 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was definitely doing the Jeep wave a couple times. One of the times we came around this little obstacle, and that one felt really balanced. And I hate to say it, but I'm pretty used to pulling a tire in their Samurai all the time. So that one felt really planted, even though your tire's about 3 feet in the air. And but the second one, man, I definitely had to say stop on that one.
Yeah,
that one got the blood pumping.
They got it going. There you go. It's kind of different being a passenger, huh?
Oh yeah, it's way different. You can kind of
especially with your spouse driving,
hang out and just enjoy the scenery,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Rhonda, did an unbelievably job. She walked a lot of the hardest parts of the Rubicon, especially coming up there before Big Sluice. I mean, that was a nice little section coming out of there, and just walked right up it, So Jeep's functioning well. Lady Samurai, or Jeep and Rhonda.
Jeep and Rhonda now.
Got to get used to that.
Yeah.
Is You
So
know,
we need
her,
to strap a little buzzer to you so that every time you say it, we zap you.
Yeah, I need it.
Dog collar.
I'm up to 3 names right now. I can't keep anything straight.
Ooh, what's the third one?
Or maybe that's the bourbon talking, you know. But yeah, no, did absolutely wonderful, and just it's kind of nice
Good
to just
answer.
relax.
The trail, I would say, I mean, I've been running this trail for years, and it's not at its easiest I've ever seen it. I mean, it's pretty rough right now. They did a lot of work. Was it right before the Memorial Day weekend? They dropped some rock. They did a lot of, and they filled in some areas. Like classic spot was kind of bittersweet on Indian Trail, about halfway through that drop off that wall. And in a short wheelbase rig, I know in my 5, it's pretty freaking hairy. And they threw some rock at the bottom of that, so they smoothed that out, which was good. And then, of course, addressing some areas that gets a lot of water and mud and stuff. I mean, the trail's in great condition, but it's a good challenge right now. I was super stoked with it. You know, just weather was great, and the trail was great, and it was like, okay. And you could there's some good buggy lines still out there to have fun on.
Right, and it's been a while since we've actually gotten a chance to do Little Sluice, and seeing Little Sluice today.
Just getting to that perfect segue.
It's looking really good, and still got a bit of water in it. But Lady Samurai, why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, so you got to drive. Jeep and Rhonda, you're on. So we said, hey, you wanted to do Little Sluice, and we said, yeah, if it's not all clogged up with a bunch of people, yeah, let's do it. And so we had the whole sluice to ourselves.
Yeah, that was nice. It was my first time driving in Little Sluice. I think I've rode with James once on our very first trip out here in the Blue Samurai. But yeah, it was good, and just going along, and then
it was wet.
My wonderful photographer was out in front of me, and I came off a rock and gave a little mud bath.
Holy smokes! I got a video. Yeah, hey, James like, hey, can you take video? I'm like, yeah, okay. So I hopped out of the buggy and got in a good spot, taking video, and the water, is still from the rain last weekend, and still snow melt going on. A little bit of snow melt here and there, but anyways, trail's pretty wet still. And yeah, there was a big puddle, and you dropped off that rock, and it just splashed like good 20 feet away where I was, and I'm like, oh, just took my shower tonight.
I have that on video.
You got it on video too?
Yes.
Oh yeah. I made a comment. It was not a derogatory comment, but it's something funny I said.
I'm sure it was hilarious.
It was hilarious. I'll have to watch the video to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, that caught me off guard.
Yeah, I was definitely laughing too hard.
Yeah. You got wet too.
I did.
Yeah,
but
you were spotting.
It was hilarious.
Husband was down the road enough where he didn't get wet at all. He just got to see everything.
Yep.
Geety.
So weird. I look over and all 3 of you are just staring at me like I'm like need to say something cool or something. See the whites of all your eyes.
Right. Yeah, so Little Sluice. I'm glad we got to go back down it, because the bypass is okay, but it's so anticlimactic. The Little Sluice is just great, and I remember when the Little Sluice was like gnarly. It was like there was a lot of fun times in the Little Sluice, and but it's still a good challenge, but it's totally doable. It's not crazy scary.
No, not at all. It's a challenge, but yeah, it's definitely doable.
Yeah.
With a good spotter, makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
So.
It's kind of funny because, it's like you got the rocky section, and we came down it obviously today. So you got that rocky section, and then you come into like this meadow area, or this flat dirt area, and you're like, oh, that was it? Nope. Then it gets nasty, right? The lower part of Little Sluice is where the big rocks are, and you got to start picking some serious lines, or else you're going to get hung up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look, I don't know. It's piece of cake.
Yeah,
piece of cake.
Right there at the bottom, there's a good 3-foot drop. You got to really pay attention.
Right. So what was let's go around the horn here. We'll start with Husman. Highlight of the trip so far. Go.
Oh, geez.
Oh, gee.
One of the things that I really enjoyed is I got to drive your buggy around for a little bit.
Really? That was the highlight?
Well, it was something fun. It was something different.
Something different, right?
You know, I've never driven your buggy before, and it doesn't fit me very well.
No.
So it was just a fun experience to kind of see how different things are set up on it. You know, compare it to mine, and just
right.
It was cool. It was nice to have an automatic.
Yes.
Put around in an automatic was nice.
And 4 extra cylinders.
Lots of extra cylinders.
Lots of extra woom pows. Ugga-duggas.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed that. That was fun just because it was you and I. I mean, you and I spent most of the morning together.
Right.
And then we had lunch together out there. So we kind of had these little bonding moments. And then I got to drive your buggy. It was great.
Oh, wow.
I enjoyed that.
Wow. That was special.
You should feel special.
I do. No, that was cool. And so we got camp.
Jason, is that your hand on my leg?
No, I'm not nowhere near your fucking leg. This isn't Jimmy.
Right.
I'm not Jimmy from the Snail Trail podcast. He gets very touchy-feely when he's drunk.
You guys are not sitting together
the cuddle couch.
On the cuddle couch?
The cuddle couch. No, we're separated. It was cool. We got camp set up, and I said, hey, let's go back and pay our fees to the caretaker.
And look for firewood.
And that
was one of the reasons we decided to take your buggy.
Exactly.
You have that little rack in the back.
I had everything unloaded, and you had mentioned that you would wanted to drive my buggy. So I'm like, okay, fine. Because I knew if you broke it, you could fix it. So I said, here you go. And so we drove from the Springs back to the main camp of Springs. So the slabs, I should say, of the Springs. Just shy of the Dirty Dozen camp, for those of you that know that area. We were at, what was the name? Rocky Point. They call that Rocky Point Camp and Pine Grove Camp. And then you got the slabs in between those two. But, so you cruise back over. Caretaker, which was the second caretaker, the backup caretakers were there. And, man, I'm trying to think of it. Caleb?
Don't ask me.
Damn it.
I'm awful with names.
Oh,
What's your name again?
Yeah, exactly. Jason.
Oh.
Jason.
You think I'd remember that?
So it's like, anyways, the main caretakers, Mark and Carrie? Oh God, Mark and Mary, and people are yelling at that. No, now
Chris is gonna have to edit all this out.
Nope, he won't. No,
okay, cool.
This is raw. This is what we do. Yep. I'm tired. I can't remember names right now, but anyways, they left, and then so the other caretakers came in yesterday morning. And so they were out on a little hike, and then they came back, and we were able to pay them. And they didn't have any firewood available. Sometimes they do have some extra firewood. But we were able to find some. And we had a pretty good campfire last night. James kept it stoked up pretty good. I was impressed with that, James. You know, you're right there by the pile of firewood and just didn't do shit for the fire.
I'm happy to help.
You were passed out. You pulled a green last night. You pulled a campfire narcolepsy.
Yeah, it hit pretty hard last night.
Yeah. You were all tuckered out. But yeah, so that's okay. So that's cool. So that's your highlight, and you drove the buggy back.
Yep.
So there you go. You got to see what rear engine 43 sticky V8 rock buggy is all about.
Yep.
Nice. Okay, James, what was your highlight?
I think you're right in the line.
What?
We going around?
No, I'm running this fucking show. I can fucking call the next person. Next person, James, to the dance floor. James, you got start dancing, motherfucker. Get your bills out, Samurai James.
James, put your shirt back on.
Oh, man. I would probably have to say my highlight for this trip was being able to efficiently lead a group in and not have too many worries about it. But we had an exceptional group. I mean, just about everybody in the group was experienced, and we had a small group, and we weren't burning the tires off of it. But we were just motoring on through and made a really, really great pace, and everybody,
Up until you didn't.
yeah, up until we didn't, but had a good time, and up until we didn't. I think we motored all the way into Buck within what kind of time would you say we made Jeep and Rhonda? Pulled into Buck about 11, had some lunch, snack.
Yeah, you guys weren't
Yeah, it's
that far
4
behind
hours.
it.
That's good.
I kept in radio contact with you, and you're like, oh yeah, we're just coming up Walker, and I'm like, oh shit, they're not that far behind us. We better get going, Jay.
I was thinking that too. I'm like, I think we were just there.
And then
It felt like we were
you're
just
like,
there.
okay, we're rolling into Buck. I'm like, oh shit, we're the sluice. We got to keep going. So it's like we weren't gonna let you catch up to us.
Unfortunately, I wish we could have.
Yeah.
So we started
Damn Gladiator.
Damn Gladiator. So we got down to the bottom of Big Sluice, and there was a group in front of us. And at first, I thought we were waiting on this Toyota, which would have been normal.
Yeah.
That red 4Runner with IFS. I couldn't believe that guy. I mean,
Dude, that was crazy that he drove that through the trail.
yeah,
pretty stock.
I think it might have been on 33s. I mean, it was stock. So
He was looking for that Starbucks, wasn't he?
That's
Is
right.
that what he said?
He got lost.
Yeah.
but yeah, no.
What was-
So
Go ahead.
go ahead. All right.
I think I got names here.
Yeah. Do we got names?
I think so. Go ahead.
All right. So anyway, walked up.
Sorry, I have to cut in with this
Yeah,
red
get in.
4Runner here because I was right behind him, and right after you pass the squeeze tree, there's that little good rock drop section, and he got his
Okay.
left rear tire up about 4 feet off the ground. It was a little sketchy, but he did great and and did well through it.
So we saw him at the slabs, and we went over and it was checking out his rig, and it was a clean 4Runner. So it's Craig from Long Beach, and AKA High Center Craig.
That's right.
That's what they named him.
I Center Craig.
2018 5th Gen TRD Pro with leather seats,
Yeah. I mean, it looked
and
pretty
he was
plush
freaking
inside.
on cloud 9, man. He rocked it. That was pretty awesome. Minimal. He had some skids on there, right? Some rock sliders or something, and he used every bit of them. But it was clean.
Yeah, he was out there making it happen.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, too bad the Gladiator people wasn't.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so I walked up to the group, and I thought we were going to be behind, this, guy who was making it happen, but he was going slower, and that's all good. I mean, he's out there, he's willing what he's got, and he's, like I said, he's making it happen and progressing along, and we caught back up to him a little ways up ahead and walked back up. I was actually going to see if we could get around him, and he goes, "Oh no, dude, it's not us. We got a group of gladiators in front of us," and yeah, it was going pretty south. So we ended up walking down there and to see what was going on to maybe lend a hand, and
right? Are they broken or need recovery? What's going on?
Yeah, and so the guy's got the winch pulled, but he's got 2 sets, so 4 traction boards
Stop it.
out there trying
Seriously?
to build a ramp to go over this rock, and I'm like, I just, I should have gotten video. It would have been the best thing in the world to watch this guy winch. With
traction boards on the Rubicon.
With traction boards on the Rubicon, but I was just kind of at the point why me? but yeah, so we got hung up behind them pretty good, and we talked to them. They seemed really friendly, really nice, and oh yeah, we'll pull over and let you over at the at the white spot down here. They're like, okay, cool, and we get down to the white spot. They're nowhere to be found. Instead, they're at the.
Oh no way!
Yeah. Let a couple rigs through, and then they went back at it to proceeding to not go over obstacles. And I think we were just from the bottom of Big Sluice to the Springs, which is not very far. I think it took us 2.5 hours, maybe longer. And yeah, they just went up to the next obstacle and broke out some more traction boards and see what they could do.
Well. Yeah, it amazes me, and I hope that people aren't doing it on purpose. But it's like, dude, have some situational awareness. If you are slowing down the trail and there's freaking 5, 6 plus rigs behind you, and you're not like frame cracked in half, like immobile 100%, get your shit off the trail, let people by, you know? And it's just common trail courtesy. But
what is it? It said, don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
If Chris was here, that's what he'd say. Don't be a dick. But yeah, it's just pay attention of your surroundings and look, oh, there's other people on the trail too. This isn't just my Rubicon right now. And yeah, a little courtesy goes a long ways. And if you're broke, that's one thing. And you know, people are there typically to help and, you know, get you moving along again too. But man, get your shit off the trail if you can, off the side. And if you're definitely slower, get out of the way. You know.
Yeah,
you were fired up pretty good last night.
I was
though.
pretty fired up about that because, you know, they got up to the next obstacle and you know, got all hung up, you know, and everything like that. And he's, you know, I walk up again. I'm like, hey, I thought you guys were pulling over. And he goes, oh, well, we're just showing off now. And I just. Yeah, I was like, yeah, about that.
Yeah,
more like a
nice.
trail tampon.
Yeah,
but,
showing off, showing how I can stop the trail.
Right. I mean, and then, you know, luckily we were able to kind of, the half of that gladiator group kind of went around kind of this longer section, and there was a slightly tougher line, but shorter.
Okay.
And so the whole group in front of us that was with the Toyota 4Runner, I mean, we were hitting rev limiters and everything else, and we were able to cut them off and kind of pull like what Tyler did, sacrificial lamb, and
right,
you know, cut them off and was able to get the group through. So that was nice.
Finally made it happen. But yeah, well, that's good. I mean, yeah. So, anyways, we were giving you a bunch of shit last night and this morning about gladiators, and pretty funny.
Yeah, at this point in time, I mean, it's still a little fresh in my mind, but right now, gladiators for me are even below the golf carts. So
and Priuses.
Wow.
You were so fired up yesterday. So fired up.
Luckily,
it was like, we need to get a drink in your hand.
We need to call security.
Security should have been called. Yeah, luckily, you know, I knew I was pulling into the Springs with Jason and would have plenty of bourbon.
Yeah, we were good. So we actually saw you guys come in when we were getting ready to leave the Springs from Payne. You guys were rolling in. And then that's where we met the Loose and Lost guys.
Yep.
One of them was from Arizona, and then a couple from Orange County, L.A. area. And they needed a little spring hanger welded up, right, Jay?
It wasn't the spring hanger; it was the frame.
Oh, the frame, actually.
It was straight up the frame.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
And he had grinders, and he says, "Hey, I'll prep it all if you'll melt some metal together for me." So you had your Carnage welder.
I did, and even better, I didn't have to do anything.
No,
I just said, "Here's my welder," and I went back and relaxed, and they prepped everything and did the welding and.
Oh, they did the welding too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, I didn't do anything.
I thought you went over there and welded.
Oh, it was great.
Oh,
that's the best kind of help.
Oh, well, there you
here's
go.
a tool.
Oh,
do it.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that was great.
So got them welded up because they were doing the Rubicon yesterday. Stayed at the Springs last night. They left this morning around 9-ish, I would say, if
Sounds
not
about
earlier.
right.
And they were headed out to Fordyce to go run Fordyce before heading back home. So I'm like, well, that's sweet. But that guy, God, what was his name from Loose and Lost? So he has this Instagram page called Loose and Lost, and I'm probably other pages, whatever. But I remember seeing it because it was like the cab over campers, the truck mullet, or the mullet of trucks, or whatever it says. It's funny sticker I saw before. But he literally had a gallon Ziploc bag full of all these different stickers that were freaking hilarious. And so you had gotten a couple stickers or somebody in our camp, right?
Yeah, we got him. He literally just reached into the bag and
just handed you stuff, right?
Whole handful of just stickers, and I mean there was flying fucks in there.
Oh yeah,
there was all kinds of good stuff.
Don't keep your dick out of machinery stickers.
Yeah,
the Smokies give a shit.
Yeah, give a shit. Smokey Bear. Anyway, some good stuff. And so I'm like, well, shit, I'm going to go do a sticker swap with this guy. So I got a couple Wheeling Wine and Whiskey stickers and went over there. He's like, yeah, here, man, just take as many as you want. So I don't know. I probably got a dozen cool stickers from him. And I was like, right on. That was super cool. But the people you meet out on the trail, I mean, probably met 20 plus people between yesterday and today.
Oh, definitely.
I was handing out a bunch of stickers today as that big old Toyota group was coming down into the big sluice. We were coming out, and we were just parked off the side letting them come through. What was there, like 8 rigs or so? And one of them thought you were Snail Trail there, Jason?
Yep.
Because you had the Snail Trail shirt on?
Yeah, I'm sporting a Snail Trail shirt. Somebody's got to represent them.
I guess,
on the trip. Because Tyler's not.
Right.
Tyler.
Right.
You got to get your, rig out there. They're very fortunate. They got good people with them to
That's
help
right.
represent.
Representatives.
Yeah.
So, yeah, anyways, that was cool. Just, people drive by here. You want a sticker? You want a sticker? Anyway, it's so cool. I mean, these are our people out here having a good time on the trail, and everybody's just out wheeling, and nothing got too rowdy last night. It was quiet, and I didn't hear anything go. There was no rev limiters at like 1 a.m. or anything like that. Did you hear anything?
I didn't hear a thing. How
No.
about you, Jeep and Rhonda?
No, it was quiet. Just the waterfall going. So, and then today, just cruising, and we had some trail traffic that we had to pull over for a few times, and people pulled over for us, and
So I was going to bring that up earlier. So,
Yeah.
So the whole trail etiquette thing, just as we were leaving the springs, there was a group of buggies.
yes,
And we kind of got out of their way so that they could go.
right,
And a little bit later, we caught up to them because one of them had broken.
going up big sluice.
Yep. And they were in the process of getting him towed up out of the way, and they all moved out of the way so that we could go by.
Correct.
It was like perfect.
That's how you're supposed to do
Yep.
it. That's the way
They were
it's done.
faster than us, so we got out of the way. They were broken down. They got all their rigs out of the way so we could go by them. It was perfect.
Exactly. Yeah. So I was tail in our group of 3. James and Rhonda were in the middle. You were up front, Hussman, and so yeah. So I'm always looking in my side mirror, and it's like, okay, I see a couple buggies behind me, and I'm like, okay, well, they can motor if they want. And so I pulled over, let them through, you let them through, and then so there you go. And then unfortunately they had a breakdown and had to pull off to the side. But had they not had a breakdown, we wouldn't have seen them the rest of the day, probably, right? They would have been long gone. So,
And we haven't seen them since.
no, we have not
So
seen
I
them
don't know
since.
if they were camping out there or what.
I think they were going back to Buck.
Yeah, they were camping at Buck.
Yeah.
Okay.
I ran into them yesterday.
Yeah.
At Buck.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there you go. So yeah.
Hopefully they made it there safe.
So a lot of people were stopping at Buck and Spider coming back out, and then I said, well, I want to get closer. So we decided to come up to walk, and we got this whole place to ourselves right now. And it's I don't know, 3/4 moon or something. It's kind of bright out.
Yeah, it's real bright out.
Yeah, and the wind
last
died
night,
down.
Yeah, wind's gone.
Wind died down. Bugs are gone. It's a nice evening here, and it's not too cold. Got a sweatshirt on. That's it. Little fire going right here. So yeah, freaking fantastic. So, Rhonda, we need to hit your highlight of the trip.
Well, my highlight is actually at Buck yesterday. We stopped and had lunch, and then once we got going again, there's those 3 V notches.
Oh yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
yeah.
And James was out of the rig helping, I think, the people behind us. So I was on my own. So I got out and scouted my line, and one of the gentlemen from the buggies was there, and he's like, "Oh yeah, this is the best line," and he was nice enough to help spot me. But I walked right up it. I got up to the top, and he's like, "Man, you don't even know how many Jeeps have been struggling on this obstacle all day today. And you just walk that." And his little daughter was there and was just like, "Yeah, you put those guys to shame."
That's
and that
cool.
Just felt great.
That's
and then
cool.
I realized I didn't even have my front locker in.
Well, look at you.
And I just walked it up. So that just made me feel good.
Damn. Heck yeah. That's awesome. Right on. Okay, yeah, that's a great highlight. You did tell that story last night. That was cool to hear. It is. It's fun, and especially Buck Island. There's always somebody watching there if you're going through on a weekend. And we had people there today watching us going out, which is just cool. Get a little audience and do something good and get some thumbs up and kudos. Right on. Yeah, what was I was going to say, so the Loose and Lost guys, when we were in the Springs, because Jason and I were in my buggy, and they were asking for a welder and stuff, and
I know where you're going.
You offered up your welder. You're like, yeah, I got a welder back at
No, well, we got to start over on when they said. They said,
yeah.
They said,
wait, oh yeah, go.
Yeah,
that's
right.
what that's
So
what I
we're
was leading
sitting
up
there.
to, but I couldn't remember.
So we're sitting there.
Okay.
So you and I park.
Yes.
To pay.
Yes.
The caretakers, but they weren't there. So we went for a
took
little walk. We went
around
back
the springs
to go see where the VIP camping was.
Yep.
When we came
Yep.
back,
and the memorial wall and the stage.
Yeah,
and
so we
stuff,
kind
it
of
was super
look
cool.
around.
Flagpole.
So when we came back, those guys were sitting out front. And so as we walked by, they're like, "Hey, do you have a welder?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, what'd you break?
What do you need welded?
What'd you break? Like, what would we be getting ourselves into?
Right.
Kind of thing." And they said that they had a spring hanger, but it actually was the frame on the backside of the hanger. So,
but what did they say? So it's like, because we were in the buggy, and they're like, they
asked
something to the buggy comment of
they asked where,
cool, or?
like, where is it? And I said, well, I'm in the buggy with the umbrella. Go find the buggy with the umbrella. And they're like, buggy, like, they thought buggy guys are like assholes.
Yeah. They had the connotation that all buggy guys are assholes.
Yeah.
And we're like, no, we're cool buggy guys.
Fuck yeah, we are.
And Mary Poppins over here has a parasol on the back of his buggy, so it's like all good, you know.
Hashtag Buggielanding.
Buggielanding. Hashtag Buggielanding. Exactly right.
Hey, that thing worked out great.
It's awesome.
That thing worked out great.
Awesome. It is so good, and it's a Tommy Bahama, so it's not that feminine, but it's freaking hilarious. That's why I was calling you Mary Poppins.
I know,
because I like to give it back.
I still got to figure out the name of the parrot.
Right, the parrot on the umbrella handle. You said?
I'm pretty sure.
Have no idea. I don't remember.
Well, that's my homework.
Okay,
I'll figure it out and I'll let you know.
Google it when you get some service.
Yeah.
So anyways, that was pretty funny. So I'll say my highlight was today running the old sluice, and I was kind of like, we talked about, we were going to run it on the way in yesterday, but we got caught up to a guy that was a broken hub, and then an old Bronco behind it, nice Bronco. But anyways, it was right before the slab there where you turn off at the top to get onto the old sluice. And they had pulled off, let us through, and I was just focused on keeping moving. And before I knew it, I was going down Indian Trail. I go, damn it, I missed the old sluice turnoff. I was leading at that point.
Yep.
And I go, son of a gun. And I almost turned and went back up old sluice. I thought, well, we could do a quick loop. It's still early, right? It was 10
I would
something.
have.
I know. But then I'm like, let's just keep going. And we said, okay, we'll run it on the way out. On Sunday or whatever, and then so as we were coming out and we got to Buck, and then you pulled over and you said, "You want to stay here tonight or you want to keep going?" I'm like, let's keep going. I want to get further out. And then, okay, are we doing Old Sluice? And I go, yeah, let's do Old Sluice. So
I was all excited.
Yeah, so that was super cool, and going up. And it's all mellow, and then all of a sudden all hell breaks loose, and it's game on Donkey Kong with these rocks and boulders and walls, and it is still just some of the best section of four-wheeling around that I've been in the Sierras. So
and we had a great photo opportunity at the very top.
Oh my gosh, so that was super cool. They used to have the somebody took some logs and built like this trellis thing up there. It's all collapsed now, but
on that little lookout.
Yeah, there's a lookout where you're up there, and it's a really cool spot. And I'm like, I'm always looking for photo ops and stuff, and the scenery is just incredible on the whole Rubicon Trail. And so I'm like, oh, we can come up and you get your buggy on one side, I can get my buggy on the other, and good photo op. And you got an awesome panorama photo with your phone.
Yep.
Yeah. So
y'all get you a big old copy to hang on your wall.
Yeah, there you go. And then there was you were teeter-tottering.
Yeah.
Your suspension was fully flexed out.
The front was.
the
rear, I'm having.
The front was.
Yeah, my rear ORIs need to be rebuilt, so they're not performing as well as they should.
Right.
So my rear driver strut is only moving about 1 inch out of the 16 inches that it can move. So.
Yeah. But that was a pretty cool video. You were sitting there rocking your buggy back and forth.
It was very well balanced at that point.
It was.
Like it was pretty effortless to do that.
but anyways, it was a good photo op, and James and Rhonda went around Indian Trail and was waiting at the top for us. But then there was like 15 plus vehicles that went through right in front of you guys or something.
Yeah.
That you were, you're like, okay, well, and then we met up with Warren and Clint up there and BS with them, and then that's where we got our spill kits.
Glenn.
Yeah, Glenn. I'm sorry, Glenn.
And Clint.
Glenn and Clint, his son Clint. Thank you for correcting me there.
My pleasure.
I'm bad with names.
Terrible
I'm
with
the
names.
first one.
What's
to
your name
admit it.
again?
I don't know.
I already forgot.
John?
You told me earlier.
Joey Jojo
Nice to meet you,
Shabadoo.
Joey.
Yeah, so that was great because my spill kits, I have used one for myself. I used up the last of it at Sand Hollow last October, and I have one in the Jeep, one in the buggy, but the one in the buggy was done. So I was like, oh, I need another spill kit. So that was cool. I was able to get those from Glenn.
There are some very nice quality kits. I mean, the rags in there that you
With
almost
the
want to hang
RTF
them.
logo?
Yeah, you want to hang them on the
Yeah,
wall, not use them for cleaning up a mess.
Right. Too nice of a rag. It's got the kind of diaper-esque thing in there, that super absorbent pad. And then the bioresponse, that's the best part because you clean everything up. You got the bag that it comes in, like the Ziploc bag. It's a bigger than your gallon Ziploc bag. And then so you can put all your gear oil or whatever you got debris inside that bag to haul off the trail. You clean things up, and then you can spread this bio chemical on it that basically it's microbes that eat the oil, so that gets taken care of before the oil gets washed into the water system up here that eventually ends up into Lake Tahoe. So it's great. Those are free. They're paid for through donations to the Rubicon Trail Foundation, and super cool that they have that program out here and educate people and get them the proper tools to clean up their mess in the event of a rollover or spill or anything like that on the trail. So, super freaking cool, man. I mean, this place, been up here different times of the year. We were up here last October, and it was cold. Holy smokes, it was cold. It snowed on us. And, then this trip had rained last weekend, nasty, and I'm like, oh, man, what's it going to be like next week? And then the weather got warm in the valley, and it's perfect up here. But with rain coming in potentially tomorrow, but I see some stars up in the sky now. It's clear, so hopefully we can get out of here before it gets real nasty. But whatever, we're prepared. We got our tarps, we got rain gear, we got, we're prepared, right?
Oh, very prepared this time.
Yeah, this time you guys got windows that roll up and a heater and all that good stuff on the Jeep. So living that Jeep life.
Yeah, first time for having a heater that, and even AC. But, unlike us, we do have lockers. So
right.
Not pulling Tyler.
Tyler's ears just perked up when you said AC.
AC before lockers.
AC before lockers.
AC before lockers. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, Tyler.
You're supposed to be here, Tyler.
Nut.
James misses you. I don't know. Do you miss him?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Poor Tyler. Anyways, well,
I can tell you he wouldn't have gone up Old Sluice with us.
No, that would have been that was crazy. That was good. It was just that was hashtag Buggielanding right there.
Yeah, that was a good little trail.
Well, anything else you guys want to add before we wrap this up? Rhonda's ready to say something here.
I would like to ask where Chris is.
Chris who?
I think it's X-Wheeler Chris Mains.
Oh, X-Wheeler Chris Mains getting called out by Jeep and Rhonda.
Well, I'm just thinking. I've had my Jeep for about 6 weeks now, and we've had it on at least 3 trips.
Whoa.
I don't know where Chris is. I don't think he's made it, maybe 2 trips this year?
Whoa.
Just come on, Chris. You got to get out on the trail.
There you go. Getting called out by Jeep and Rhonda, Chris. There you are. That's freaking awesome. That's so good. That's 1 hour and 1 minute, Chris, just for Mark there on your editing. So, yeah. Be sure to keep that in there. That's great. James, you got anything else?
We're kind of doing the final words, like Tyler. But
no, this isn't the Snail Trail podcast. I'm just asking if there's anything else.
Anything else?
No final thoughts. It's just, you got anything else you want to add?
No, my mistake. I think we're pretty good though.
How are we doing on whiskey over there?
It's
the rod and hammer's getting a little low.
Yeah, it's just pretty.
Oh my
fast.
gosh, the rye's almost gone.
Yeah,
the old fashioned we killed that at dinner.
Yeah,
that was delicious.
It was great. I highly recommend it. I'm definitely going back for some more bottles for sure.
So they have that at the store near your house. Yeah.
Yeah. Riley's and Bel Air both have it.
Wow. Okay. I haven't seen it in my local stores, but I know where to get it. So I'll have to. The Manhattan was good. We had that over my birthday weekend, pre-mixed Manhattan mix, and this is the old fashioned. Pretty damn good too. So
yeah, pretty good.
All right, Hussman.
I don't think I have anything to add.
Nothing to add.
No, I mean, great people, great wheeling, great weather. We got warming ourselves by a fire while we're recording a podcast. This is great.
I mean, it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's always a good time at the Rubicon, regardless of weather, how many people, how many, whatever, breakdowns. There's all kinds of stories that we have over the years out here, but always happy to be out here. Great mountain therapy, great rock therapy, great buggy landing. I just I'm sad to leave in the morning, but I'm very appreciative that I got to come out on this trip because I really didn't think I was going to make it.
I'm glad you made it.
Yeah, no, it was. I'm glad we had the group we had. It was great. We missed a few of you that didn't make it, but anyways, it was great. And with that, I think that's it. Who's going to do the "We're Out" since Chris isn't here? I'll tee it up. You ready, Rhonda? You're going to do it, okay?
Wait, I have one more thing to add.
Oh, okay, wait. One more thing to add.
I just
But wait, there's more. Get too nice
sorry.
that. What are you going to give away? Are we giving away a shirt or anything tonight? Shit.
No, nothing to give away. I just want to tell everyone out there that might be hesitant to get out there behind a rig, like, just do it. It's definitely taken me a lot, and I still have a lot to learn, but, you just got to get out there and get the seat time, and each time you gain new skills, and so just don't be afraid and get out there and get behind the wheel.
Very, very well said, and that is awesome. It is. I love it. All different types of vehicle. I mean, that was one of the things we were talking about this morning in the Springs, and there was, I don't know, 25 vehicles parked on the slabs there where we were camped. And, of course, we're always talking what's the next build, what's the next biggest thing, or what do we want to do to our rigs. And, I said, hey, just look at all the different rigs that made it to this point, and there's many ways to skin a cat. You don't have to have a buggy on 43s to go do the Rubicon. In fact, there was a group out here this weekend on 31s, just to run 31s through the Rubicon. And I know they were in front of us today, but I never saw them, so they stayed ahead of us on 31s. So there's, you're exactly right. Just get out and enjoy with run what you brung, and build it up if you want or whatever, but just come out and have fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and with that,
we're out.
Okay, that was Friday, Saturday, Rubicon. Beautiful weather.
And we're out.
And goodbye. Nice.
Too soon?
I had Rhonda do it.
Oh.
I had Rhonda do You're Out because you weren't there.
Oh man, everybody's copying. I was watching. So Dolly and everybody, they're all in Hawaii right now.
Are they?
Everybody, the whole Hannah family,
Amber and
everybody, they're all in Hawaii.
Is it a family reunion or something?
I don't know.
What's going on?
Yes,
I didn't get an invite.
I know, right? They're all there, and she was doing a live thing earlier today, and she goes, "And we're out."
I know. Well, you know what they say. Biggest form of flattery is imitation.
Yeah, absolutely. Imitation is the finest form of flattery.
That's it. There you go.
Yes, sir.
So there you go.
I'm flattered.
You should be flattered.
Yes.
You should be flatter.
I should be. We're not drinking right now.
Let's go back to the Rubicon. So last night we were all tired. We were gassed. So I was able to keep up with you with some communication through the Echo Link. Did you ever call back in at 6:30?
No,
Okay.
I was medicating.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, because I kept calling out. I'm like, Chris. And then one of the guys, I don't know if it was Frank Yost or one of them, he goes, try using his call sign. What's your call sign? I'm like, whoa, ham radio, please. KK6YXM, MFer. I didn't put the MFer part in. I just added that right.
You don't need to use you should use your call
every
sign.
Every 10 minutes, you need to announce when you start. And then
but you can call by a normal name. So like
yes,
when I call you when I'm calling you, I'll use my call sign, KK6YXS, calling for Jason.
Yeah.
I don't, I'm KK6YXS calling KK6YXM.
Yeah, I remember yours because, we're real close since we graduated from ham school at the same time.
That's right.
I remember Renee's because she's got QDI as hers.
Is that KK6QDI?
I think it is KK6. Yeah,
we all know how to remember that one.
So anyways, it's good. But I didn't get you, and then I was trying to get back to, the Springs to let John and Renee know that we made it to camp fine and how their night was going and yada yada, and couldn't get anything, but did get Carol. Lemon,
Lemon,
she's up there in the Placerville area, and she monitors it. She knew the whole club was out there, and so I was able to talk with her a couple times, and then she was going to relay information back to John and Renee if they ever got online. And
why weren't they on the trail?
I don't know.
Because Craig usually runs that trail.
Probably too many people.
Maybe
there was a lot of people.
It was weird. I mean,
I think
good.
We had 21 or 22 rigs.
Oh shit, that's a lot.
But
then all the Diablo boys, families were out there.
There was a few clubs out there. There was some rock buggies running 31s, doing a 31 run.
Wow.
Yeah, that would be fun. I actually want to do that.
31 at street pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. There was mix of vehicle. I did not see one new Bronco. Saw a few gladiators, and that's the new thing for Samurai James is that is his kryptonite, gladiators. So when you see him next time, just bring up gladiators. It triggers him. No, in a bad way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a bad thing. One got stuck and started pulling out traction boards to get over rocks.
Boy.
And James was like, dude, get out of the way. And the guy wouldn't get out of the way. He's holding up the whole trail. He's using traction boards on rocks. So, and we talked a little bit about that, as you heard. So that was it's just some social, skills, awareness, what's going on in your surroundings. That
right.
You're not the only one on the trail on a weekend.
Right.
Yep. The situational awareness is exactly right. So anyways, that was exactly. That's exactly. Too bad this wasn't a video, but Chris just showed me a picture of a guy with a shirt, and on the back of it said, "Don't be a dick."
I was in the pro shop at my golf course.
Oh, wow. And there you go. Okay. So, cycling back, Husband and I did Soup Bowl. So, and when you're loaded, we got a new term that you don't even know about. And Jason came up with it.
Okay.
Not this Jason, the other Jason. I'll give him full credit.
Okay.
So, there's overlanding, right? And then there's rock landing that the Snail Boys are claiming that they coined.
Uh-huh.
Jason, buggy landing.
Buggy landing?
That's what we were doing. We had our tents, and our duffel bags strapped to the top and our stoves and everything strapped to our roofs because you got zero room inside the buggy.
Yeah.
Unless you got a badass slide-out toolbox, then you got that.
But that's
for
like
you.
Tools and storage space.
So, but Jason has this parasol. I was calling him Mary Poppins because he has this umbrella that goes on the back of his buggy and a little stand, to shade his cooler and stuff.
Uh-huh.
It's actually quite practical. Works perfect. Folds up to nothing, and store it. But anyway, so that's we were buggy landing.
Buggy landing.
But you got all that weight on. I mean, it's tin stuff, but it just the buggy handles differently. And my passenger seat was loaded up with gear and tools and stuff, and then of course had the ice chest on the back full, and then the other ice chest that got attacked by a bear is filled with oils and
fluids and
miscellaneous parts and little things that you common stuff, I guess you could say. And so it's loaded down, and you get in that soup bowl, and we got some great video. I mean, the passenger side front tire is just on the sidewall, just laying on a sidewall. You get so high up on the wall and lay it over, and at least that's how I do it in the buggy, and even the Jeep too. But anyways, walked right through it. Cool. Husband's new rig, no problem.
This
nice
is driving
weather.
in or driving out?
This is going in on Friday. We had plenty of time. So we did that. Met Dustin there. We talked about that in the podcast. His buddy had broken a leaf spring.
Oh,
and
bummer.
so we were going to, he had a buddy that was staying at Buck Island to let him know that he could come back with a welder to weld them up. Well, of course, John Allen came up and says, what do you need? And welded him up. So got him going. And Dustin ended up, he has a cool Jimmy's buggy and was into the springs right away, not too far behind us and stuff. So anyways, it was cool. Got to meet him, and a lot of people on the trail. I handed out stickers left and right, people going by. We were passing people were passing us. I'm like, hey, you want a sticker? Yeah, I want a sticker. So so that was cool. I didn't have any more koozies to hand out, but had stickers. And then so we got to camp Friday, and we got all set up, and so a lot of people started rolling in, and we went over. We talked about this. The Loose and Lost guys they're from OC down south. So I don't know if you saw that sticker. I don't remember if you pointed out to me or something on Instagram, but it was like the cab over campers, like the mullet in the truck world.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So that was that guy, and he had a whole bag full of stickers, some really cool stickers. So we went over there talking to them, and we talked about Craig last night that we met that had like this 4Runner that was a 2018 5th gen, but it was like way too clean to have just gone through the Rubicon.
Really?
So he made it through. Yeah. I guess they nicknamed him High Center Craig, but because it had an independent front, but he made it. And then there was another guy there named Kevin, also from Orange County, with a 2005 LJ.
Okay.
That was really well set up. So anyway, it's just cool when you get, everybody's out there having a good time. And, that's what I was telling James. I'm like, look, all these vehicles made it through the trail.
Yeah.
You don't need 43 stickies, spooled LS rock buggy to make it through the trail. Now it makes it very comfortable to go through the trail. But, look at that 4Runner that just made it in here, and unscathed. So pretty freaking cool. And that was one thing I just wanted to mention there. So, so in talking with you, we said, hey, weather's coming in, and I looked at Jason and I said, hey, what do you think? And he's like, I don't know, I think we should head out, Saturday afternoon. And I go, I agree. So we hung out by the river. It was awesome.
Down by the river?
Down by the river in a van. And so we got out of there.
Any banjos?
No. I think we left there at 2:00.
Okay.
Right around 2. And we hit some traffic. There was a group of buggies that just came from Buck to the springs to play, and recreate for the day in the water and stuff. They had all their float tubes and everything. And so we kind of got in the middle of their group. And so we had Jeep and Rhonda there, and I didn't want them pushing her, and I was in the back, husband was up front, so we pulled over and let them through. They hauled ass.
Okay.
And then we caught up to them, stopped at Big Sluice, and one of their rigs broke, so they pulled over for us, and then we passed them, and we hit very little traffic after that.
Okay.
It took us 5 hours. I think I mentioned that before. 5 hours to get from the springs to the top of Walker. So it's pretty good pace. It's not super fast. We did stop a few times. And then, of course, Jason and we talk about going through the Old Sluice, which was epic. I'm so glad we did that. It was gnarly. Some of the hardest I've ever seen that. And that section is always difficult. And if you have a setup rig, I would say minimum 37s with a shorter wheelbase. To even think about going through there. Of course, locked front and rear. But it is some really good classic Rubicon rock crawling right there on
Right
on. This morning we said, hey, let's get out of here by 7. And, nobody set alarm or anything. We just woke up, not raining, thank God. I hate packing up in the rain. But the weather was coming in, you could tell. And so we packed everything up, put the manifold burritos in.
I just want to interject that
Yeah.
I woke up and I fired up my computer and looked at the radar.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, shit.
Yeah. And you never called out. I'm sitting there on the 805. Anybody? You get a weather update?
Well, there was something going on with the Echo Link again this morning. It wasn't working right. I don't know. And then it finally started working and whatever.
Yeah, and you were super quiet last night. I don't know why. But anyways.
Bourbon.
Yeah, probably. So I'm like, okay, cool. Let's head out. So 7 o'clock exactly, 6:59, we were on the trail heading towards Loon Lake.
Okay.
And about 7:20 it started sprinkling. At 7:30 it was full on raining. And it rained the entire time on our way out. So I had the rain gear all ready to go, threw on the rain gear, threw some tarp over, stuff. My sleeping bag was soaking wet on the roof. I didn't care because I wasn't going to use it tonight. I'm like, okay, whatever. It needs to be washed anyways. So I go, okay. And we get out and, going through the bowl, I've been through the bowl several times in snow, rain, of course, sun and all that. But it's pretty neat when it's raining because, the water just flowing down the granite slabs. It's all granite slabs. So made it up to the top of there. We got a quick photo on the, Loon Lake side of the bowl, and then headed out to the, trailhead. And there was a lot of tow rigs parked at the spillway.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then in that whole staging area down there. And that's where Hustle Nuts was parked. And then James Rhonda and I were up at the Chalet, big dirt parking lot across from the Chalet. So... And James and Rhonda have a windshield. I don't have a windshield. I don't have wipers. I don't have doors. It's hashtag buggy life in its fullest form right there.
It's not that far. I mean, a couple.
Oh, no, it's not. But I will tell you what, the wind was probably blowing easy. I'm going to be conservative, 35 miles an hour off of Loon Lake.
Oh, geez.
So the rain was going sideways, and it felt like you were getting hit with a pellet gun left and right. In your face, and I don't know where my goggles were from KOH, but I didn't have the goggles in the buggy, so I had my hat on, I had the rain gear on, and just trying to shield my face from getting pelleted. And then you go back into the trees, and then you hit the pavement, and no fenders, and you were sending up a rooster tails 10 feet in the air off of all four tires.
Perfect.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, and I was doing probably about 25, maybe 30 back up to the Chalet, which is like a good, 8-minute or so drive, but it felt like an hour and a half. Yeah. But it got up to the Chalet and, of course, then you're unloading all your wet gear and getting everything situated. But, it kind of let up a little bit when I was strapping down on the trailer and then it started dumping again. It was like, oh man. But I had a change of clothes. James and Rhonda had their camper, so it was nice. So we went in there. We ate our manifold burritos. So it took us 2 hours. By 9 o'clock, we were back up at the truck. So pretty quick. We just kind of motored along, not record pace, but just kept motoring along.
Right on.
And and then headed down the hill. And it rained all the way down into Placerville, and then it finally stopped. And then I could see the buggy water stop coming off the buggy and started to dry out. And then, stopped by my buddy's house on the way home, Tommy, and then here. So
right on.
It was an awesome trip. Everybody made it through. I only heard, we talked about last night, one tire debeated. There was, and then I guess Mike Klein this morning had a tire debeat.
Oh, really?
Or flat of some sort on Cadillac going out. I was able to contact and keep in contact with John and Renee there. But I think those were and we talked about it. Husband lost a couple bolts on his flange for the driveline.
Oh, shit.
So we had to swap those out real quick.
You're not Loctite them?
I don't know. I mean, it's too many torques. Just too many torques.
You're right.
But we were commenting on the podcast last night. I'm laying underneath a rig, and normally you get underneath a rig, at least any rigs that I've ever been under on the Rubicon or any trail. There's grease, there's oil, there's, it's stuff's falling down in your eyes. And Dude, Hussman's is just as clean underneath as it is up top. Now it is a fresh build, but it's cool. It was laying under there, and I'm like, damn, it's like too clean down here.
Gonna eat off of it.
Yeah, and I was wearing the Wheeling Wine and Whiskey Heather Gray shirt, the light colored shirt.
The Hero logo, or
no? Yes, Hero logo. Yes, yeah,
right
Hero
on.
logo. But anyways, so I came out of there nice and clean. I'm like, wow, this is nice.
perfect.
Nice to work on.
Now you had something happen to the buggy.
I did. What?
You said something about a brake caliper.
Oh, so yeah, when I was coming back out, so the buggy ran great, and I came, when I was on the road doing 25, 30 miles an hour, and I could feel drag, and then I could hear the brake dragging in the rear, passenger or driver rear, and but it was dumping rain. I was on a mission to get back, so I get back to the truck, and I go down, and sure enough, it's hot, so the brake's dragging. So I don't know if the caliper. If it's just not sliding like it's supposed to on the bolts. But Justin just had it apart, so I don't think it's that. I think the piston's sticking. So I'll get that apart. It's common Chevy stuff. I was looking at Hussman's, all the Will Wood stuff, and I mean, I'd love to go that route eventually, but it's going to be a while before I can afford to do that.
Yeah,
because the brakes aren't good at all on the buggy. But you don't need brakes.
No,
you just need low gearing.
You just
low
need
gearing's
gearing,
there, right?
Torques.
Brakes are overrated.
D-torques.
Yeah. But so, so I got to look at that. But other than that, I mean, nothing. It was absolutely so clean, so fun run, and relaxing in that, you're just cruising.
Cool.
And we did some hardcore stuff, so that was pretty cool.
How did Tyler's rig do?
He did so good. Apparently he passed us like 4 times. We never saw him.
Shit.
He camped somewhere near the springs, I guess, but never saw him. I heard he caught a few fish.
Really?
Never saw the fish either.
Snappers?
Red snapper? I didn't know they had red snapper up there. They? And then...
Does he even fish? I don't think he fishes.
Yeah, and then we went to say goodbye to him when we left yesterday. Couldn't find him. And then I asked John and Renee this morning, and I said, hey, did Tyler head out with you guys? And she goes, I don't know. Never saw him. So I don't know.
Wow. All right. There it is. He was hanging out with me, apparently.
Yeah. I think you and him were hanging out together. Oh, but it was great. It's just what the doctor ordered. I am super tired. But the once again, Gazelle tent with the cot, very, very comfortable. Buggy landing. Hashtag buggy landing.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's going to be the title.
And there it is. Whoop. There it is.
And right on.
So that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Right on. Well, that's cool. I'm looking forward to listening to the whole episode. I haven't had a chance because we're just sitting here, but I'll listen to it as I edit it.
Okay.
Is it pretty clean?
It's it's very clean. I don't think there was any edits really.
All right.
I was pretty tired though. So it's the energy started out good, and then it just kind of dwindled. So
what were you guys passing around the fire?
There was some Rod and Hammers.
Ooh,
yeah, Rod and Hammers Old Fashioned mix, the premix, and we had the Manhattan at the safety clinic.
That was good,
and that was really good. I like the Manhattan better than the Old Fashioned, but I drank the Old Fashioned. It was good. Yeah, it was very good. And then of course some rye came out, Rod and Hammers rye.
Ooh, very good rye.
I had Woodford rye as well, so
can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, no,
actually,
it's right there.
I don't have the rye here.
Oh, you don't? No, that's it. Was that the barrel proof, or what is that one?
No, that's just the standard, isn't it?
Oh, no, this is the wheat. You got the wheat
the
right
wheated.
there.
Yeah,
the wheat's nice.
The regular stuff's in the closet.
Yeah, but so we just, I had like maybe 2 beers, and neither one of them really tasted good to me. I'm not liking the taste of beer anymore, which is fine.
Okay.
But the bourbon tasted good around the campfire. It was perfect. Just had just enough ice last night to ice down the glass. Because I just had the Coleman cooler. I didn't do any fancy stuff this trip.
Oh, you didn't bring the fridge?
No, but I did have a 2-liter frozen water bottle in there, and that worked out to keep everything cold. So
right on.
I should point this out because I don't think I talked about this last night. So for meal prep, I always do my standard spaghetti. I fix pasta with sauce,
right,
and cook it all. and then put it in a vacuum seal bag
Right.
and vacuum seal it.
Yeah.
So then when I get to ready for dinner, I have a big pot. I fill that up with water, boil the water, throw the bag in to heat it up, pull the bag out, open it up. You could eat right out of the bag, pour it on a plate, whatever. But the pot, you just dump the water out and dry it out, and you're done. There's no dishes. No
Cleanup's easy.
No muss, no fuss.
That's what we did at Barrett Lake Day.
Right. So I was so pressed. I didn't know if I was going on this trip or not. And I'm like, okay, what am I going to do for food? And I can't do the PB&H or PB&Js or whatever that Jimmy does. I got to have some sustenance. And so at Safeway, they had these prepackaged meals. So like I had one with salmon, red potatoes, and green beans.
Yeah.
And it's already cooked. It's just a heat and serve type thing.
Yeah.
You keep it refrigerated. So I took the plastic top off. It's in a metal tin, vacuum sealed it just like that, and cooked it inside the bag to warm it up.
Yeah, their chicken parm is pretty freaking
The
good.
chicken parm's good. So last night I had chicken enchiladas.
Nice.
From there. So, and that worked out beautifully.
Boiling enchiladas.
Just sous vide, man. It's cooking sous vide, and you're just heating it up, and it worked out really, really well. So, and then of course I made my dirty rice burritos, breakfast
so
and
good.
lunch burritos.
Yeah.
So that was For more trail cooking tips, email Jason at wheelingwineandwhiskey.com.
We'll have to have a whole episode on that because
There's some good stuff on irate too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I need to add my stuff there.
Sure.
Okay. All right. Well, that's all I got. I got to get home. I got to get unloaded before it gets dark.
I got to hit the road. I'm supposed to be in Alameda shortly. So.
Okay.
All right. Well, good. I'm glad you had a good time. Glad you got some mountain therapy. That's super cool.
Yes.
And so we'll reconvene in a few days and record another episode. Until that time, we're out.